Once upon a time, in a lush green village where rivers sang and fields swayed in the breeze, there lived a girl named Radha. Radha was so gripped by laziness that she avoided any kind of work. She didn't like doing household chores, helping in the fields, or learning crafts like other girls in the village. She would lie under the shade of a tree all day, daydreaming and saying, "I hate work, I will never do anything." Radha's mother, Kamla, was a hard-working and patient woman. She tried everything to persuade Radha, sometimes with love, sometimes with scolding, and sometimes by tempting her with rewards, but Radha remained stubborn. She would always repeat, "I hate work, I want to do it." Kamla wished Radha would help with household tasks, especially spinning wool, which was the main work of the village women. But Radha had never even touched a spinning wheel. Finally, one day, Kamla lost her patience. Enraged, she scolded Radha, saying, "I'm fed up with you. Now you'll have to work, no matter what." But even this had no effect on Radha. She stood her ground and said, "I want to do it. I hate work." Kamla's anger knew no bounds. She picked up a stick and started beating Radha. Radha screamed loudly, and her cries echoed through the village lanes. At that very moment, Queen Vidya, the kind and wise ruler of the kingdom, happened to be passing through the village. Hearing Radha's cries, she stopped and got down from her chariot, heading toward Kamla's house. "Whose cries are these? Who is hurting this girl?" she asked. Entering the house, she saw Kamla beating her daughter. Kamla stopped immediately, startled by the queen's presence. "Who are you, and why are you beating this girl?" the queen asked sternly. Kamla, ashamed to admit that her daughter was lazy and unwilling to work, twisted the truth and said, "I'm her mother. Radha loves spinning wool so much that she sits at the spinning wheel all day. But I'm a poor woman, I don't have enough wool to satisfy her desire to spin." The queen smiled and said, "Is that all? I find the sound of the spinning wheel the most soothing in the world. Its rhythmic hum brings me great joy." Kamla, who had lied to save her dignity, didn't expect things to turn like this. The queen then said, "Give your daughter to me. I will take her to the palace. I have plenty of wool, she can spin as much as she wants. She will never run out of wool." Fed up with Radha's stubbornness, Kamla immediately agreed. "As you wish, your majesty. How could I disobey your command?" The queen took Radha with her to the palace and brought her to the highest tower, where she showed her 3 large rooms filled with the finest wool from floor to ceiling. The queen said, "You want to lack wool here? Spin all of this for me, and when the task is complete, I will marry you to my eldest son, Prince Veer. I don't mind your poverty, for you are a hard-working girl." Radha was in shock. The very spinning wheel she had avoided was now inescapable. Terrified and speechless, she stood in silence. The queen added, "I'll leave now. Begin your work. I'll return to see how much you've done." With that, the queen left. Radha was left alone. She didn't know what to do and sat down crying. For 3 days, she just cried and didn't even touch the spinning wheel. On the 3rd day, the queen returned and was shocked to see that nothing had been done. "Why haven't you started?" she asked. Radha made an excuse, "I miss home so much. I've been feeling lonely, that's why I haven't started." The queen believed her but warned, "I expect you to begin work tomorrow." Once the queen left, Radha again stood by the window, worried. Suddenly, she saw 3 strange women approaching the palace. One had an unusually long arm, the second had fingers so thick they looked like fists, and the third had eyes so sharp they could see far away things clearly. They stopped beneath her window and asked, Why do you look so troubled? Radha told them her entire situation. The women said, we can help you, but on one condition. Radha quickly asked, what condition, tell me? They replied, when you marry the prince, you must invite us to the wedding. Treat us with honor as your sisters, and make sure we sit at the special guest table, not with the common guests. Radha eagerly agreed, I promise. I will do exactly as you say. She let them into the palace and arranged space for them in the first room. The three women began their work. Their spinning technique was magical. The first woman used her long arm to pull the wool, the second twisted the thread with her thick fingers, and the third inspected the fine threads with her sharp eyes and fed them to the spinning wheel. In no time, piles of spun wool began to appear. Whenever the queen visited, Radha would hide the women and show only the finished wool. The queen, delighted, praised Radha, well done. You're truly hard-working. But she also wondered how Radha managed so much work so quickly. The three women completed the wool in the first room, then the second, and finally the third. Once finished, they said, it's time for us to go now. But don't forget your promise. Radha thanked them and said, you've saved me from a big trouble. I will never forget you. When the queen saw all three rooms filled with spun wool, she was overjoyed. She praised Radha, you've done a marvelous job. I'm very pleased with you. She immediately began preparations for Radha's wedding with Prince Veer. The prince was also glad to know he was marrying a hard-working and intelligent girl. Radha said to the queen and prince, I have three sisters who've done a lot for me. May